going to have any bulky. Look at this, because they're not needed. People can't even be comfortable, walking in things like that. That's so bulky. We can have little simple ones. Like this one is okay. Very simple. People can feel comfortable using, walking on them, but not really bulky. Look at this. Too bulky.
Not there.
And round. You see that's round in the middle?
This is where
People
I got
can't
that
walk comfortably like that. So
You know what?
those are just some things. And we're not going to have colorful. We're going to have solid plain colors. Okay? And the top is not going to be bulky as well. It's going to be more simple like this, you see? This one is more simple, no? If people want something comfortable, because we're going to have a lot of tile, so that's okay. But nothing like that. Look, too bulky. Inside and on the top for no reason. No reason. Okay? What else I have to say? Yeah, no colorful like that. Just solid colors. That will be fine. Alright, let's try over here. Let's see what else. We're not going to have any plastic container, because you're not going to have garages full of things. Look at that. Full of things that are not needed, not sustainable. Okay, people that have blankets just a very few months, like some warm countries, right? Just 1 month or so, they can put in plastic bag to avoid the dust until the agroforestry grow. They can put in plastic bags that's reusable, strong, transparent plastic bags. They're more sustainable than plastics like that, look, because they're really not needed. So they can put in the sun really well to dry well, and then use that 1 month a year. That's fine, okay? But it's transparent plastic bags, big enough to fit the blanket, and so we don't need any of those plastic items. Plastic boxes, none of this we need, okay? Alright, none of this we need. And here also we don't need those, okay? Alright, so they are clean and safe from dust and from humidity. So the blankets, that's how we're gonna keep them. That's the most sustainable. Alright, a few brushes can be used, not for cars, because families are not going to have cars, but a few brushes for some stainless places, but that's only as indicated on proper videos. But none of these things are needed. No one gonna have cars and extra wheel paddings, because families are not going to have cars. They're not needed. Okay, so we talk a lot about books, notebooks, files that we're not going to have, not needed, right? Crafts that we don't need, more craft items, none of this are needed. Different scents, different liquids, look at that, different liquids, none of these are needed. So we talk about that. No glue, no tape, no other tapes, none of this we need, okay? Alright, so none of that, that's not sustainable. And for tools, people are gonna have tools for the whole community. Not gonna have the tool room, and the maintenance person in charge can use the ones that are authorized, depending what they are doing, okay, to be used and reused all the time. The same. So none of these electric cords we're gonna have, because they're not needed. The bulbs gonna be for everyone the same, very durable, the ones that we will indicate the best. None of these chemicals, and cable for car starts or DVD, none of this we're going to have. They're not sustainable, not needed, okay? No mouse, no one's gonna use a mouse. We're gonna have the things with time attached to the board as well. Nobody gonna have separate mouse with cords. They're not needed. So none of these discs, they're not needed. no stereo sound. Look at this, the size of this thing. None of these are needed. Okay? Alright, so let's keep walking a bit more. So here, people that have dogs, they're not gonna have, you know, they play with dogs, running with them, playing with them. None of these toys are needed, not sustainable. They throw a little rock, they have a little piece of wood, they already have. Nothing like that. People that have will recycle them, and no more will be available for sale because they're not needed. Okay, people gonna keep the bowls they already have, and in 10 years no one's gonna have dogs anymore because they're not needed. No dog treats, no dog food. Dog's gonna eat the vegetables we're gonna plant, fruits, vegetables, that's what we're gonna eat. No cans for dogs or for people because they're not sustainable and not needed. Okay, for children, we're gonna have, they don't have here, but very strong baskets you're gonna see for sale. They're very, very strong. I'm gonna show you. And they also can have some cotton ones without this decoration because not needed, but very firm and strong ones we can have. You see, this one is very strong, but nothing like that because you don't even know what's that. A half, you know, like look like a crate. Anyways, I'm gonna have very strong ones. It's okay for the schools and also for children up to 4th grade. They can have some toys, right? And I'm going to list them. None of these plastic plants, none of this plastic or real, none of these are needed, not sustainable. Okay, nothing of that are needed. And here people are gonna plant seeds and use for their chickens, but not for wild birds. Wild birds, because if we attract them, it's gonna be hard after to avoid them. So every residential community is gonna plant some seeds. None of this we're going to have. None of this. Nothing for hummingbirds or for anything. Or dogs gonna have a regular towel. So they're easy to wash. No dog beds like that. Okay, no dog beds like that or any other type because they're not needed, not sustainable. Look at this. Dog beds, all types, all sorts. Nothing of that you're going to need. No places for birds to eat. Okay, no litter pen, no one gonna have cats. They're not sustainable either, not needed. Okay, so we're gonna plant seeds only for chickens and some other things you're gonna see. For our chickens to be healthy, those are needed. No simple games like that. No kitchen sets like that, they're not needed. Or no toys like that of any type because they're not needed. Okay, no other guns or guns any type or blowing things or swings, proper swings and proper slides we can use down the hill. We can use that. Okay, we're gonna have very strong ones. I don't know if that's the type. No, that's not the type. I've seen one very strong like boards you can use for down the snow, down the grass, you know, people can use. You're not going to have none of this. Look at that. None of these things. They're all not needed. Look, not sustainable. Every battery needs to be taken out and be placed on the side. None of this, because people trash in the environment. So many toys that are not needed. They're all children gonna have a few that we're gonna say which ones, you know, very sustainable, durable. Some plastic ones for the tub time up to 4th grade, they can have a few. And to play will be some wooden and cotton ones, washable cotton ones. Okay, none of these things, none of this, all not needed, not sustainable. Okay, all this, if you have any of these, please go ahead and already recycle them. Okay, no fake sand, no Play-Doh of any type, or slime, People call them so many different names, but they are not needed. Okay, the baskets that we're gonna show off. We're gonna see which ones are for sale at our Peace store. So none of this we're going to have. None of this. They're not needed, not sustainable. You know, people go out, they bring some fruits, some veggies, they last. You know, if they're going for a field day, to the beach, to the river, you know, to a park. Look, we're not going to celebrate Easter, we talk about that, and not going to have this. This is all disposable things. People buy again, throw away, make the economy going, they say. But it's all fake because the environment's trash and we are all one with the environment. We are not part of it. So none of this, look, and people are not allowed to create any of this in the future either. Okay, that's important. Because people nowadays even say that Mary said this, Jesus said that, and in reality they did not. It's all their own creation. Okay? You're not going to have none of this. And even the type of the stores, how the stores will be set up, they're going to be really small, sell very few things, because people can go out. It's okay. Go out to purchase a few things like clothes and shoes. It's good for them to try them on, make sure they fit, and do something different, but not have huge stores like we have all over nowadays. Everything from China. Solar panels, garden lights, we don't need. We need the tall, regular ones for the community, but not very short ones. They're not needed. None of this is sustainable, needed, or positive. You know, these globes things, mosaic, gloves, garden gloves, we don't need that. We need to contact, to touch the soil. If people are allergic, they have to eat healthy and touch a bit more, and then soon they have no allergies anymore. We are going to have very strong wash nozzles, water nozzles, okay? Plastics, you're not going to have this ornamental vases. They're not needed, not sustainable. We're just going to have trays to plant our seeds for our annual huge tree planting and some other plants as well that needs for the environment. We're not going to have none of this. None of these are needed or sustainable. You know, people are gonna have simple lifestyle. No plants like that, no plastic plants, no trees or Christmas trees or spring trees, no plastic trees of any type, of real ones inside the house. They're not needed, not sustainable. We're not going to have any pattern related to animals like this one. No, everything going to be solid colors for blankets, for clothes. Nobody going to need that. We're going to have some proper cabinets, strong, very strong proper cabinets at each residential community and each educational sites. But for everyone, you know, for all the apartments, all the houses, to use the tools they're needed. Okay? So we're not going to have none of these throw pillows, you know, because they're not needed, not sustainable. Okay? People can have 2 or 4 per house, you know, for the whole living room. That's okay. Plain colors. Okay? So we're not going to have this, look, because they easily break with time. They break. We need things that are gonna last for decades, centuries. So everything gonna have a proper explanation on how they will be made, and they cannot be changed along the centuries, okay? So we're not going to have any of these special things because they're not needed. Only regular ceiling lights and ceiling fans. Look, none of this. People create, and people buy and through them and buy more through them because, and have more garages, more deposit rooms that are not needed. Look at this. None of these are needed. Okay, we're not going to have any of these creams. None of this. Look, none of this. Okay, healthy food people gonna eat and no more will be done. That's it. Because that's the most sustainable for everyone. Look at this. To create that, and it's all things that are not needed. Okay? None of these are needed. Okay, alright, thank you.